Huge crash on the front straightaway.
He's off again. Oh, a huge off.
Big crash, up and over.
Oh boy, somebody's running up hard. Our first crash. Who is that? It's Catherine Legg in the wall and Stefan Wilson. You can see that coming from a mile away. Catherine Legg.
It's been an up and down weekend for him with the DXDT Racing number 08. Mercedes and Hardeman spins in the middle of the pack, hits that Armco on the right-hand side of the track, but looks like he'll be able to continue on.
Off of turn 20, and Manny just took the invitation. Charlotte trying to squeeze him.
Whoa!
Oh!
Big contact between the two and hard into the retaining wall. Two contending cars eliminated in turn 1 with 55 minutes to go. Inside drafting there is Skier. Skier's gonna make a move to the inside. Oh, this filtering into the turn 1 at the top of the hill, and around goes Brown.
Here comes Daskalos on Johnny O. That is a brave move. It's too late. That was just really a bit too heavy-handed there.
Let's look at this one more time, Calvin.
Yeah, Sabo was doing a really nice job there, but Holland saw the opportunity, ducks down to the inside, and there he just hops over the curb, and it just literally bounces him into the rear end of Sabo.
Oh, and Kurtz cuts to the inside of Sofronis now. 2 by 2, 2 rows deep. Oh! Contact between Sofronis and Kurtz goes around.
Wow, and now Bartone's to the lead. I think he's got around to Adelson. Anthony Bartone, I think he's picking his way around this racetrack nicely, finding the grip.
Oh, big spin and a heavy impact. That's Keebler into the Armco, and that very likely will bring it into the race.
He slots to the outside, trying to look away around the cushion there out of turn 1, has to give it up.
Big coming together there at the center of the field. Looks like Tim Pappas in the McLaren Artura is a big part of that, the number 97 car. Dearly, he was running 15th overall before the incident. And now let's take a look. Ooh. I think that was assisted. 3 into 1, Calvin. This rarely has a happy result.
Yeah, watch for the next car in line. That's
4
Terry
into 1.
Borschella. Yeah.
Yikes. And that's big damage for Terry. Hanley in third, but coming under some pressure here. Actually, now it's Hanley on the attack.
Oh, big move to the inside. That was massive.
And there is carnage. 3 cars involved. Pappas and Bohm.
Just didn't look like that 88 car slowed down at all with John Miller.
Look at that replay. Oh, looked like a little bit of a hop of the curb, some sideways action. And frankly there, Kyle, not that heavy of an impact in between those two cars. I think that car for Clements just hit it exactly. Stephen Clements there a little bit offline there. I think that was Tyler Gonzalez cutting through the corner there. We've got one
side. The 76 car, Stephen Clements, sideways, and there's more in the background as you called it there, DJ. Now up into turn number 8 on the paint. There's not going to be grip there. They touch. The 57 spins at turn 8.
And that is your championship leader, Tyler Gonzalez. He's able to catch the car, get it pointed back the right way. But
Barnett's in on the throttle, off the starting line first. 0-10 reaction time. Lyle Barnett off the throttle. Oh, getting real close to the left side wall, going to the right side, into the wall. Mason Wright got out there in no man's land, now sliding on his roof. Makes contact with the left side wall. What a wild run.
We'll go all the way through to the end of the qualifying session this evening. Got a problem for... That is a broken...
But it's the best part of night racing. What's the best part of a 24-hour race? 2 things. Dark, preferably rain as well. Yes, you
left out Schnitzel.
Yeah, what?
Schnitzel. Oh, big moment for the BMW.
Team Motec. I noted that down. And then 240i, that was Tally. So yes, that is the one it was. Well, there was contact with the Porsche Cayman coming out of Galgenkopf.
Oh, that's
and the Lamborghini speared across to driver's left. It was on the right-hand side of the track. Then the wheel was separated by hitting the barriers, and then he went round a couple of times.
Oh, no, he's
just hit the curb on his own.
On his own. And that, as you rightly say, Pete, is earlier on, and that's pulled the car to the right. That's on the Hatton back.
Yeah.
So that was another white Aston.
It's Mike Rockefeller in third place in the queue.
Oh,
and unfortunately, we've got one
that's a big one.
That's a big horsepower. 102.
Jesse Krohn, 102. Not. Oh, sorry, that's further down.
That's Christian Krohn, yes.
Christian Krohn, yeah. Because that's, if you don't look out, that's going to take hold, and it's not.
He stepped away. That's gone.
That's gone.
The engine bay's gone on that car. This is the 108 Golf. It's bright orange and black, and unfortunately,
definitely bright orange.
It's burning bright orange and black smoke. Now, what happened to the Rover BMW to lose all of that time off the track? off the track after Wipperman. Huge sideways slide at one of the few places where you can have a bit of a runoff, but he clipped.
Teo Nue leading that. However, moments ago, there was a crash at just on the exit of Brightside, and that was which car?
Number 24.
Lion Speed, having to go around the outside of a slower BMW and just catching the dirt.
Just getting knitted in, and where you back off for a nanosecond in this class, you're going to be passed by those behind, fast, and then hit up the derriere.
Schumacher S's on the Grand Prix track, and he got hit by a slow car that he was passing, and one of the Cup class Porsches, I think, that also went around there. Must have been going down. It's the loaded tyre, the working tyre, as he turns in there, Peter.
Yeah.
Yes, he did hit the curb with the right front, but not enough to spin him around.
What I would explain there, Peter, though, is the fact
Peter Cate's car, 184, was the one that was dropping fluid.
Correct.
Early on. K. Kramer Racing, SP7.
Yes. Well, it was a leading trio, but a leading quadruple. Oh, dear.
BMW in the barrier, and that was confusion as the white BMW.
It looks like a bit of misunderstanding with a slower front-wheel drive car, and goes head on into the Armco barrier there and bounces back into the circuit.
And now have they found one another? Yes, the BMW was trying to go around the outside and has obliterated its steering because of a slight misjudgment. It's left the Schmickler Performance Porsche in the wall.
Well over a lap's advantage. I don't think you're ever going to get that in Cup 2 because they're so evenly matched, and that's a very high-speed entry into the first corner at the Yokohama S, and Moritz Krantz just could not get the car stopped.
They were by far the two quickest on the track before then.
I will say Marciello was on a full tank of fuel on Friday night when he set that time, but
So was
Karlvitz is only 2 laps into his stint. In fact, that was his second lap of presumably an 8-lap stint now.
And quite literally, he's opened the passenger door, I think, to check the Mercedes driver's okay. We're just going to get a quick replay of exactly what happened, and it's Mercedes has gone off. I think he's been tagged by the Porsche first because the Porsche's behind.
Well, he's going to have to move that because he's parked a bit against the wall that says BMW parking.
So it's either the 70 or the 71. It's the 7-0 machine, which is well alight, and that is a brake fire. I think that front right disc has more or less exploded on the GT4 dark blue. It's left a still flaming either wheel or inner wheel arch or brake disc right in the middle of the racetrack. Seen lots of campfires at barbecues so far this weekend at the Nurburgring Nordschleife.
Incredible. It's the Toyota Corolla Altis and SP3, one of them, there's 2 of them in the class, gets very up close and personal with an Opel Astra.
The driving there from the dynamic GT car, and it's not as if you can really enforce a penalty for a future race. A wheeling Porsche there over. That was.
You said about inclusivity, the way the ADAC. I had a quick look at his profile on the driver database, and 4th or 6th of December 1979 he was born, making him 43 years old. So his 30th one next year means he did his first one here in 13 years old.
Stay off the main roads if you can. Go the back routes. It's a fantastic drive.
I will sure do that. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Neil. Neil Verhagen, BMW Junior team, of that investment down through the years by BMW, Bruce Jones, that you saw way back in the Formula 2, the European Formula 2 days.
So that is the 3rd place in 240i. What a disaster. Left rear wheel has gone. That's not just a tyre. It's a tyre and wheel rim.
So there's that. There's a code 60 immediately come up at the Dunlop curve, what was known as the Dunlop curve, now Goodyear.
Hier dem heutigen Besitzer vom Historik. Oh, jetzt müssen wir umswitchen. Hier hatten wir aber einen mächtigen Einschlag gesehen.
Dann kann man uns dann in Ruhe das nochmal anschauen. Ja, das ist der typische Schwedenkreuzunfall. Jetzt schlägt er ein und dann fängt er an, sich zu überschlagen. Boah, Gut zu sehen. Fenster ist auch auf. Ne? Da wäre fast der Kopf noch raus. Sieht direkt die Hände davor das Gesicht gehalten.
Motorsport, das wird von Motorsport, glaube ich, in Mörsdorf auf dem Hunsrück vorbereitet. Lukas Gorn, Günther Hartweg und jetzt.
Der hat aber vorher schon ein Problem. Da ist ein Problem. Motorplatzer und dann rutscht er auf seinem eigenen Öl aus, würde ich mal fast vermuten. Ja, genau so ist es. Ach du Scheiße.
Dann nochmal aufgestiegen. Hochkant seitlich überschlagen.
Dann noch zwei weitere dahinter, die auch auf dieser Ölspur natürlich ausrutschen.
Für diese Mannschaft und hier haben wir noch einmal mit der 406 so die Vorentwicklung. Und jetzt geht's rein in die Reifenstapel und Gott sei Dank Reifenstapel und nicht in die Leitplanken. Und die haben wir eben schon angesprochen. Das knappe Manöver, wie es hier vorne.
Vogt, der ist leider vor ein paar Jahren an Krebs gestorben. Und der dritte Mann im Team, da sehen wir nochmal den Unfall, das ist Herbert Müller-Kurve oben, Ausgang, Anfahrt Stahlstrecke, heftiger Einschlag.
Richtung Box, Richtung Fahrerlager, Fahrer ist definitiv wohl ist ausgestiegen und ja, war ein Einschlag, vorne ein bisschen, hinten ein bisschen und hat ein Rad verloren. Ja.
No último minuto de treino, que o tempo do Fraga realmente surpreende. Opa, e aí a barreira de pneus para o Enzo Elias. Vai pegando a linha ali do Daniel Serra. Julinho Campos dá uma pegada na grama, dá uma balançada, quase que ele atravessou. Vamos com safety car, Lucas Forest na barreira de pneus. Na saída da 2 para 3. Já tem pneu esparramado na pista. O Julinho dá essa primeira escapada aqui, mas lá atrás já tá vindo o Forest. Olha lá, ele passa reto lá atrás.
Aparentemente um enrosco com o Enzo Elias.
Mais forte a pancada, hein? Vamos combinar. Olha isso.
Olha onde foi. Bom, aí a gente tem um barranco.
Isso é a barreira do outro lado.
Isso explica porque tem pneu. Juntos com a Stock Series, vamos para a corrida 3. E olha o Matias de Valle tentando por dentro. Já tem toque, Zezinho roda. Rodou o Hugo Sibien.
Vida complicada de Rogério Cruzeiro no 42. Olha o toque lado a lado. Atravessado o Bruno Testa ali pelo Enzo Gianfratti. E você vai vendo cada disputa em cada ponto da pista. Muito... rapaz, aí deu play. Rapaz, vem punição. Se você for julgar pelas duas...
Volta com tudo, numeral 125 ali do Felipe Pique. Já vem ali o Guto Rota também, já tem gente indo para um lado, indo para o outro. O Jardineiro vai ter muito trabalho. Olha o toque do Beto Cavaleiro. Vai buscando espaço na Copa Shell HB20. Olha, agora pegou. Agora tem o play no muro, eu falo. Fechada de porta para um lado, aqui ó, safety car. Isso porque tá aqui ó, o 275 do Rangel ficou atravessado. E o Thiago Lopes foi para lá no gramado para dizer, aí pegou, ó, esse para-choque vai sair caro.
Fantástica, né? Mas confortável em relação aos demais agora. É só ele continuar acelerando, imprimir esse ritmo e o Jardineiro vai ter trabalho hoje, Matheus.
Vai! Olha lá, ó. Olha lá, o número 7.
Philip Morris was looking good through the first 5 kilometers of stage 4 until a slow speed roll left him on his roof. Tempestini and Andrea Mabellini, the Italian ahead after stage 13, but the tricky 14th test would prove his undoing.
Gisberg and Mostert, Feeney pie the top 10, and all the usual elbow-to-elbow stuff with Courtney faring poorly, and he's actually got it all locked up. He's trying to turn it left and keep it off the barrier, but he's bumped it. He's done a beautiful job there, and LeBrock outbreaks himself, and he's run. Cam Waters has run Brody wide, and now there's everybody involved in this one down there. This is the craziness. Look at that. That's 3 abreast going in there. Oh.
I didn't see that spin earlier. So that was clumsy because he tried to turn back the other side. Oh, how about that one too?
People looking to make moves early on the cold tyres up the inside at turn 6. Feeney trying to recover and off the road as Van Gisbergen straight into the wall. 45 kilometres an hour pending the wind. And that's awkward. Skating off to the inside for Declan.
How's this play out? Because you don't want to be on the outside over there, but now you do. Oh, and they're both off. That's, yeah, that was sort of always going to happen, that one.
This is now live shots of another car coming to a rest on the exit of turn 3.
That's Ross McGregor, Craig, most experienced driver in Sprint Challenge. You've spent some time down at turn 2, 3 and 4 today, and that's the damage from, well, that explains why McGregor is out of the race. So he's got into the back of Constantinides. Here it is. Oh, wow.
It's actually a bigger contact, and he's ricocheted off the car, and he's actually hit the Armco, which is the extra 3.
Shields in that orange, grey and white car, so he gets into the rear corner of Marcus Flack, and then Bloxham had nowhere to go through it. If Murphy picks off 3 of them.
And you can see the effect.
Oh, too hot. Too hot for Stitchbury, and for the second time this weekend, Marcus Flack gets turned around at turn 4.
Had a little chat to Bria Ritter this morning. We won around a big way and back into the traffic. It's the 71.
Hillier around the outside. Does he get it done? Contact.
Championship round.
That's always the concern when you make the big move on the outside. Look at your top of screen as they come around. Look at that black spectrum right out against the Armco. And Frugas really doesn't really know he's there.
I said, I don't care if I'm cold, I care if my brakes are cold.
Big one. That's the 5.
Still spinning down the front straight.
And this is worry when if they come back across the field. And there's another one around at the curb.
Yeah, I think he was just so tucked up behind the gearbox ahead of him, and when they all checked up.
Yeah. You can see instantly the suspension breaks and fails. And right here you're thinking, where am I going? Am I going to have a Mark Webber moment here from Le Mans? In the late 90s.
Or a Mark Webber moment from Valencia. Take a few of them. Yeah.
For the run down to turn 4, Beswick's trying to get in there as well. What did Matt Hillier do?
Big one in the background.
Yes.
That was a hard hit.
You see Formula Fords go into the concrete barrier like that. That's...
Just an example of my suggesting that the track really does go uphill and down dale, and there you could see a little bit of contact then on the formation lap.
But it was indeed McCain Wang being turned sideways.
Mark Musso got a tap there. Forgive me interrupting you, Shay. I just saw him reach that tap, and unfortunately with that car beached.
Great qualifying, and John Horsch is looking to make up for a not great qualifying, and he spins in turn 1. He does tag Bauke soon, so both cars are off. That's a very good gap as Mark Musso has gotten around Michael Mathis, and all of a sudden there's McCade Wang and cars going off as McCade Wang makes it through. Does he? Mark Musso went off.
Here's what happened. Michael Porter to the inside then. There was a tag between the two of them, and that means that Tony Davis gets nerfed out onto the grass. Will be taken to the track at the Le Mans 24-hour race, where Ferrari challenge as one car goes in, and goes in hard, and that is Custodio Toledo, the integral safety of the 488 Challenge Evo. Back end of the car just got away from him, and therefore front and rear impact on a couple of occasions, and as you can see,
going through the S's. Oh, so it was further around the track. That's turn 5. Just hit the curbing at exactly the wrong angle, and it unsettled the car behind by quite a bit. And it was a diving attempt for the lead on Monteforte, and it didn't work. And Lisa Clark, just going off in evasive action, winds up spinning in the grass.
Replay here.
She got a tap. That was Dana Goodwin in car number 146 was the other one involved. So we were just talking about the car.
Into turn number 1, looked as though Baker did get the jump.
Full contact in turn number 1. The second place car is off into the tire wall. Justin DiBenedetto. Tomlinson and Kwok will go side by side through turn number 4. Tomlinson is in, and now Kwok is off and in the tire wall in turn number 5.
You hit a tacky spot. I got it from underneath him pretty early.
Now, these are not Suarez's first laps on the racetrack. He finished 5th in the ASA race.
I love that you don't have the fender rubs you used to have. That would have resulted in him having to pit before. And there, he clipped the inside wall, it looked like.
Sure did.
Behind you, yellows out.
4 cars involved in turn 1.
Fighting to get down to the bottom. Then they all check up, they slow down. And it's almost like Noah Clint was maybe going to try to turn underneath McDowell, like he had a little run, has those fresh tires on the fronts, turn a little better. Ty is wearing the rear bumper out of that car.
Is he? Tips it around.
Down.
No, over the wall goes McDowell and Haley.
He gets in the back of Haley and turns him around.
That was kind of one of those 12 wheels corner better than 4 situations, at least for whoever was on the inside.
Haley had it saved, and then McDowell came back around. Right out of the window, he came down. There'd be another angle of this. The angle I saw sold a different picture than that.
Well, you usually see a very different angle.
No.
Yeah,
Just hang tight. I've got to go with Clint. That was the effect. It wasn't the cause.
See if we can see what happens to Norm as he's just loose into the corner, and unfortunately hits that outside wall pretty good.
And again, new for this place, safer barrier.
Off turn 2 as he takes it down into turn 3. Oh, look at that.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow. That was a oil line or something.
Had to be an oil line. Got on the headers and obviously had zero control over that truck.
Timmy tries to tuck into a hole.
And it just wasn't there. I know how bad he wanted to get down there, but Johnny wasn't going to let him down there. Connor Jones did a nice job in that 66 truck. Stuart Friesen, who's parlayed a really poor qualifying effort, and right now running 4th.
Bam. Haley, unfortunately, was the wrong place at the wrong time and got hit there. Raja trying to he does get under Dean, and then bam. Josh Williams just turned him.
Yeah,
the other Josh Williams.
Yeah, Dean.
Not the one you were talking about.
Not the one I was talking about on the Connor Jones, the 66. Right next to him. Josh Williams is going to go around and just clip the barrels at the end of pit road.
7th caution of the day for the 22 of Josh Williams.
Here we go into turn number 1.
She just didn't look like she didn't try to make the turn so much. Looked like there was room for him to go low. Maybe her brakes.
And I think there's Chris Wright making contact.
Bumper racing, and Christian gets in a little bit further than he thought when Ben let off the gas.
He had nowhere for Ben to go. He was right behind Caden Honeycutt in the 20 truck.
See Chase Purdy down on the bottom in that Bama Buggies. Kyle Busch truck. Oh, it looks tight into the wall.
Tyler Ankrum into the wall, hit by Raja Caruth. Caution waves again. 10 laps to go.
Ben Rhodes and Zane Smith both heavily involved in that.
Right there, just shoved. Slides up a little bit and just gets into Eckes.
Caden Honeycutt does a really nice job getting around them to move up into the 10th spot. Stuart Friesen.
Carson Macedo slides up the banking. Brad Sweet tries to come into the L. Trouble right in front of the leaders. The 49X of Cale Thomas clocks the wall in turn 4. They'll get the 2 to go signal. And Donnie Shallow caution on the speedway. Trouble in turns 1 and 2. Rico Abreu with the jump to lead the field into turn 1. A look to the inside from Macedo. Car sideways over the edge of the banking. It's the 5 of Spencer Baston. Take a look at the Dirt Vision replay there. McFadden and Baston get together and then Mintz with no place to go.
Si ferma Davide Benedetto ai box della Krypton. Attenzione che qui c'è un bruttissimo errore da parte di Garcia. Avete visto come sono in fidi.
Galli è al comando con Pellegrini, Giugiu Noda e Sandro Zeller che si stanno contendendo la posizione, anzi Benjamin Berta.
Gara 2. Per quanto riguarda le altre...
Rasero e Galli, leggero contatto con Rasero che finisce in ghiaia.
Ah, che peccato.
Di gran carriera, la staccata al tornantino e il contatto, attenzione Pellegrini, va al capottamento, incredibile questo contatto con Giugiu Noda che ha tentato di andare.
A lot of work for the young Austrian. In the meantime, Milenko Vukovic fighting out with Germandi, they touched. And they did good job not to lose it on the straight, but now Milenko Vukovic is facing the wrong way, crashing into Philip Hindley. It is Rodenburg Pairing of Rodenburg and Van der Kratz from third, and there's crash immediately in the first corner. From fifth on the grid, Jaden Post having a go. They're running side by side. There's a contact, and Balázs Hartmann now being spun into the first corner, and he was so lucky to avoid all of the barriers.
Now we'll see if we can see what happened further back, and Tom O'Rourke goes straight into the side of Michael Oliver, so that's what happened. He went spinning out, Oliver saved it, and Ricky Collett had nowhere to go, went off rally crossing. Here we go with race number 4 down towards Hatchet Hairpin. Ricky Collett and Jock Borthwick lead them off. Michael Oliver and Craig Reed tucked in behind. There's been some contact already in there. Oh my goodness, big contact further back. David Jenkins involved. We've got a tyre leading the Division 2 pack. Michael Oliver moving to cover as they head down towards the hairpin. Something's got to give here, surely. There's a contact further back. That's Stuart Oliver. He's gone into the back of John Bowler, I think. Stuart Oliver loses the bonnet. Let's hope there's no further damage there and he's able to keep going. The former Rotax kart racer has competed in the Kart Masters Grand Prix as well as a yellow flag out. That's Josh Salvadore, and he's been collected by a couple of passing cars there. The 38 was one of them. That was Caleb McDuff. Westbourne Motorsport, one of the numerically dominant teams as well. Oh, we've got a tangle further back and damage there to a couple of cars. One of them is our scholarship winner, the number 30 of Will Fallon. 110 of Salvador is next in the order, and a bit of pushing and shoving there, and off go the 10 of Harry Smith. The 6 of Charlie Constable go grass tracking. Just about got the car stopped, but he's lost the lead. Cameron Pratt-Thompson into the lead. Bash, there's contact between the two of them, and off goes Cameron Pratt-Thompson. Oh dear. Old rival of Martin Ryman in the Fiat Racing Challenge. They used to race Fiat Unos, those two. Oh, bit of a spin there, and they've got a tangle already. Oh no! Nick Rhodes goes off. He was hit by 47 Giles Owen. That's taken out, I think that's Steve Walford. One car, as I was saying, that's had problems earlier on was the Muffins car, and a tangle. Off goes Chris Tovey. Contact with the Mini. That's one of our top 3 in trouble.
Går skyder også afsted på ydersiden, og nu er det sådan en trakt her, hvor vi skal have alle biler ned, og Kasper Pilgaard står rundt. Ikke rigtig plads af Mads Rasmussen. Så ind bagved Ole Petersen op på en 3. plads, så har vi en snortur ned bagved.
Spinner, ja, det var en af ERM Racing.
Ja, og så Jakob Sebel Andersen.
Er der at høre, men undervejs, der bliver der forskellige pitstop, fordi alle kører, alle hold, de skal i pit. Peugeot 308 kamp her. Her en forbremser fra Henrik Møller Sørensen og ryger direkte ind i
at være i angreb på hinanden på en gang.
Ja, og også kører på tværs af hinanden og alt muligt. Og nu har vi jo så altså et mindre bunkebryllup her, hvor det blandt andet er hurtigste omgangstid. Her, så går det galt her for Dennis Ladefod.
Ja, Dennis Ladefod.
Spinner og bliver...
Явно здесь толкач. Ух ты! А здесь, не знаю, честно говоря, надо просто смотреть, будет изучить телеметрию, у кого был руль в это время повернут. То есть Лев повернул Льва Толкачева. Сейчас слишком много скорости в бэнкинг, потеря машины, удар в Атоева. Атоев теряет позицию, которую честно отстаивал всю гонку. И теряет он... Что здесь у нас было у 2 легенд? Савин догнал Лапицкого, и контакт с 3 восьмерками Ивана Герасимова. Дважды в первом повороте разворачивает, так что здесь было потерял. Ух ты! Боже мой! Да, разбит. Ух, какой здесь был подлет, друзья мои. Этот Михаил Достовалов, 3 семерки. И если у Достовалова просто разбито крыло левое... Фридман очень много мест отыграл. 4 «Жигули» в ряд. Ребята, не столкнитесь. Но есть контакт. И Артема разворачивает здесь Андрей Артюшин. «Жигули» под 26-м номером. Это машина Ивана Тараканова. И вот, собственно, вдвоем также еще заходили внутри в поворот. Ныряет здесь Унтрушунайлов, притормаживает Козлов. Недопоняли друг друга, потому что Фридман, контакт. И оба за пределами трассы. Потерял сам свою машину, его раскачал, в итоге ну вот еще мы сейчас здесь попадаемся. Да, как-то здесь разошелся Тараканов, Донца. Здесь едва не приехал во всю эту группу. А вот, собственно, борьба 13 номера и... 13 номер прыгает на поребрике, бьет 54-й. Здесь разворачивает Артюшина. Он слегка ударил Фридмана и уже сильнее ударил Пухлякова. Замял.
Había corrido con un Clio en la última oportunidad. Y también retrasado Villa Brille.
Hoy se engancharon finalmente. Rubén Loiácono con Cristian Bodrato. Prácticamente toda la curva número 1, así que otro de los que venían peleando. Cuando ojo que el auto viene descontrolado hacia la parte interna, Divela de costado, a ver si puede volver. Pero bueno, pudo ser peor. Pero bueno, dos autos que se van también muy golpeados de allí. Hay una buena maniobra de Luciano González para esquivar.
Sí, fue Luciano González quien fue por el pasto.
Lo de adelante, se va a meter para intentar recuperar el terreno perdido. ¿Quién es el que sale por allá? Pugnaloni con problemas. Auto número 83. Ahí se cruzó Cerretti. Cuando volvía Pugnaloni, se cruzaron. Golpe terrible. Vuelco. El tema es Pugnaloni volvía. Y el auto de Renzo.
Segundo 6, la reiteración de esta maniobra de Luque y Lestar. Después en el tercer lugar Salvi, cuarto Alcaine, quinto Ubiña, sexto Coltrinari, séptimo Bastidas. En un mismo incidente que tenemos.
A ver, sí, le pegó como venía, ¿no? Guido Serafini se lo lleva puesto como viene. A Conde, queda allí cruzado y después Divela. Como ya están peleando a la par, dijimos 3 a la par, Morier te lo marcaba antes. Como ya se manda por la parte de adentro, pero salen lentos, se engancharon los punteros. Termina Morier complicándose y Narci también. Vuelco de Morier cuando se traba con la tierra arada. Termina el auto.
Ya clasificador, ahí tenemos. Venía con Menocchio por el sexto.
Claro, pisó el piano, perdió el control del auto y lo atendió. En pleno ingreso, posibilidad de llevarse buenos puntos de este fin de semana. Aquí está la reiteración del toque y posterior despiste de los dos autos, ¿no?
Nuevo récord de vuelta de Antella, 48.853. Es el más rápido.
¿No? Respecto de los reglamentarios, si se suman 2 vueltas o no. Lo podemos chequear, chicos. Bueno, Bailone quedó cruzado. Se lo llevó puesto a Veledo, así como venía.
En este inicio de la final de la clase 1.
Se tocaron. Una ayudita. Lo atendieron. Nacho Fernández me parece que era. Que pasaba con Manu del Barrio. Claro, quería avanzar. Se tocó allí con Guillermo Martínez. Y ahí está, claro.
Y nada que ver con el piano.
No. Acá un pequeño roce al principio de la maniobra. Y un toquecito en el final. Lo dejó estampado contra los neumáticos.
Con muchas alternativas.
Esto es lo que pasaba con Poggi.
Y esto es lo que pasaba, claro, con el piloto de azul que quedaba fuera de carrera. Mirá la pista, cómo se había... No digo encharcado, pero sí estaba con muchísima más agua que antes del auto de seguridad. Una definición en la última vuelta, en la última parte de la última vuelta. La danza de estos autos pasó de todo atrás. Claro, ¿no? El agua.
Y el que se cruzaba ahí...
Rápido, sabe que tem carro competitivo. E a galera da C300, opa, por aí não.
Opa! Pancada forte no final da reta oposta. Vamos aguardar aí a repetição de imagem para ver com quem ele acabou se envolvendo. Olha lá! Olha só o toque do De Angelis na traseira do Amaral, na traseira do Marcelo, rapaz!
Bota a bandeira vermelha que esses enlouqueceram agora.
Pra cima do Leandro Henrique. Leandro Henrique, carro 27.
Eita, que bateu ali na reta.
Opa!
É o Daniel Dias. E bateu forte.
O Marcelo Neves vai buscando o caminho.
Ó por dentro.
A todo custo. E aqui embaixo, olha isso.
Ele vem aí para agregar essa categoria. Quem sabe aí continuar. E opa, não é por aí também. Já pega ali, já roda.
Eles vinham se degladiando aqui no laranja, bem em frente à torre. Jack Nicklaus indo para ataque constante. Você viu Oscar Moraes. O Bonilha deixou escapar, acabou rodando.
Christian Idden over at Goddard's to get himself up into the top 6, but there was a bit of drama for Jack Kennedy, who fell at second though, then started to run into trouble around about lap 2 or 3. There was also a bit more trouble further back as Andrew Irwin saw a gap, went for it, and down went both himself and Christian Idden at the Melbourne loop. Dean Harrison went down of his own accord as well. in hot pursuit of the leading group. Danny Kent at this stage was in 5th place, but there was drama. Leon Haslam to move up a spot, and Kyle Ryde, whilst leading, made a rare error. Further back through the order, there was a big moment for Andy Irwin, who for the 3rd time this weekend went down and took Storm Stacey with him. In 3rd position, but then drama. Out front on the Gillen Kawasaki booth, Amos fell at the Melbourne Loop. Despite a couple of worrying moments and twitches, there was a crash for Jamie Perrin. He was very lucky not to be collected by another rider. But
unfortunately, it was not quite a fortuitous race for a couple of riders getting involved in separate incidents down into the Melbourne Loop. This is where his race came undone. He flicked it into the right-hander of Koppes, had a front-ender, lost his way through there. Lennon Doherty, an innocent victim in that, just nowhere to go for him. Both riders up and okay. Ellis slightly offline into there, dropped the front and ran out, and then Jacob Stevenson followed him in sympathy as well. The upshot was that it was Lewis Jones who took the checkered flag. Harrison Desoy as he went through with Ryan Frost, very close for company in the race lead. But you can see there, a bit of contact sent him off onto the grass at Hollywood. Sadly out of the race. Side by side with the lead, but it was through the final corner. Harley McKay, bit too eager on the power. High-siding out of the last turn, out of the race. Julian Correa. Here is Belford just getting a bit of a mess of the brakes into the final corner of the final lap, and this was the moment that defined it for Sullivan Moundy, high-siding out of the final corner, clattered by a couple of bikes.
Where they go for the first time, and it's a trio of Yamahas and a move being made. Oh, and down goes Cameron Peterson.
Looks like Carl Soltis there that just goes through, and then the next rider, yeah, look, one rider goes down, and then so obviously it was raining over in these last sections of the track. A little bit, oh man, Declan just got thrown for a big high side there for him. And then it looked like we were going to have a 3rd rider possibly come into screen. As I'm just trying to see who that is there, Greg.
Oh, two more riders.
2 more that go down.
Not good, but a lot of laps here in the wet. Oh, choppy up and out. Oh, and Ryder down.
We got Ryder down, Greg, on the exit of turn 5 there.
Still leading this race. We've now completed 6 laps. Oh, and down he goes. That's a huge, huge moment. And, well, the question always now will be, should there have been a red flag?
The track, because he's leading. See, there's other guys.
And more riders going down, and maybe 6 or 7 guys on the floor. Now, we've got 8 laps to go. We didn't... and another rider went down in the background as well there. Now closing up on some of the back markers. Oh, and another crash, and Rodeo is down for the 2nd day in a row, and he was taken out this time.
Jay, here's a look at it.
Bottom of your screen, see, probably just lost the front in there. So good to see Carson get up and your head down and trying to pull a gap as somebody's gone down.
No!
Get away from that. Is it? I can't tell if it's...
But a lap later, back end came around on him. He went down to 12th. Albi Ferrato, though, out of 6th position. Big crash for the wildcard rider, Marc-Antoine Rossi. End of the first lap, though, championship leader, Jago hit over the bars, got beat up by his bike. He was out of 3rd and out of the qualifying race. And he was closing in on the 2 Red Bull KTMs, and then just came in too hot, tipped over Coonan down to 10th. He eventually came home in 8th place. Caught there in 2nd place as De Wolf went through. Meanwhile, the 39 of Van der Moosdijk went down. Managed to ride around the issue and eventually came home in 19th place. But Georgia Blasik of Larissa Papamaya to move into 3rd place. And Lynn Volk and Martine Hughes. And then just as Riceless looked to go past the Spaniard, guess what? Saw you coming, tipped him over. A little bit of a brake check there.